I was saying that my second book, As Death Stared Back, has been favorite among many readers across countries, across continents, and one of the very popular producers in Bollywood industry, he kind of wrote a review for it, saying that in some places it has outshone The Shining from
Hmm.
Stephen King.
Oh, wow.
That's a big compliment. That was a big compliment for me. It
Wow.
sent goosebumps up and down my spine. And it is simply because that book is, it scares you because it's so regular. It
Hmm.
scares you because it can happen to anybody.
Hmm.
And it scares you because it has a family involved in it.
Hmm.
It scares you because we love families, we love people around us. Human being is a social animal, and we are a byproduct of our environment and genes after all. So
Correct.
reading something that could most likely happen to you or most likely happen to someone you know is really scary. And then the way it kind of culminates, the way it concludes, the way you maneuver through the ups and downs, the twists and turns, the turmoils of the character, you
Hmm.
kind of know that this author is taking me in such a deep place, is dragging me to depths of this dark murky waters. And you kind of get that feeling towards the
Yeah.
end that I know he's going to leave me there. He's not going to bring me up for air. He's just going to leave me there in the depth of this dark murky water, and I have nothing else to do.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of SYWK Podcast where you can find everything related to the paranormal. Well, in this episode, I have an amazing author who has written books like When the Devil Whispers, Has Death Stared Back, and his latest book, 7 Hours at Bhata Road. He is the one and only Ajinkya Bhasme. To be honest, I enjoyed the conversation with him and I'm happy to share it with you guys. Trust me, if you enjoy horror, this is the conversation you need to listen to. So without wasting any time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get started. Since you are an author who write horror stories, definitely
Mhm.
this question was supposed to come. Do you believe in ghosts? And did you experience something in your personal life?
Sure. I get this question quite a lot. I write the psychological form of horror.
Hmm.
I believe in internalization of fear. I believe that it's all perception based, it's all perceptives. So if you ask me, do I believe in a supernatural entity called as a ghost, my direct answer and easy answer would be no.
Mhm.
But do I believe in energies, do I believe in chaos? My answer is yes. I'm a scientist. I'm a chemical engineer. I did my graduation from IIT Bombay, and we all know how chaotic the universe is. It is organized chaos. It is expanding at the end of the day, and the entropy increases. And if
Hmm.
the entropy is supposed to increase, there is supposed to be chaos that is happening around you. And I think that chaos for me is what traditionally people would term as ghost.
Hmm.
And that chaos could possibly be my kryptonite. That chaos could possibly be that something that would scare me.
Hmm.
Personal experience, though, we are all Indians love a ghost story. If I have not experienced something or you have not experienced something, we personally know someone,
Yeah.
some mama, chacha, or somebody who has
Dadi.
like a ghostly experience. Dadi, mama, chacha, nani, somebody in the family, closely in the family, blood relation में कोई ना कोई
कोई
तो
ना कोई
होता
तो
ही है
रहेगा ही.
जिसने experience है. Definitely, I can like write it on stamp paper and give it to you, and they'd be like, I have once experienced a ghost in my life. But I wouldn't call it ghost, but I have experienced many things that are unexplicable, and I don't have a rationale for it. I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
And I'm a stupid person, right? So my reactions to weird things are equally weird or comical to an extent sometimes. So it was IIT time, and I was in the hostel. Usually, hostel rooms are shared by two people. My roommate and I were in the room, and it was Diwali time. So he had left. He had gone for Jaipur, and the entire wing that I was staying in was empty. I was supposed to go the next day to my hometown. Nobody else was in the hostel wing. It was all isolated. Nobody on the first floor. Nobody on the ground floor. Nobody on the second floor as well. I was kind of only person in that entire block at that time, and I'd slept. And suddenly, for some reason, in the middle of the night, I hear snoring next to me in the bed where my roommate is supposed to sleep. I wake up and I freeze in my sleep, and I'm like, and the snoring grows louder, and I'm like, oh fuck, what? I actually checked before sleeping if there was anybody, because I wanted to like invite that person ki chal, if you are if you are also alone, maybe we'll play something, or maybe we'll watch a movie or something. All friends, no, in the campus. So I thought that I'd invite somebody, but there was no fucking soul there. And then suddenly I hear this snoring voice right next to me. It felt like it's coming from the same room, and I'm like, oh fuck, I am fucked today. And you know what I did? I'm like, I cleared my throat. I'm like, please don't snore. I announce it very loudly. I do not look there. I am in my blanket like that. And I am coddled up in my blanket, and I look at the wall, and I'm like, whoever is snoring, it's a kind request. Please don't snore. I have an early train to catch tomorrow. I will not be able to sleep if you continue snoring, but you may sleep wherever you are sleeping right now. I will promise you that I won't disturb you ever. I announce it very, very loudly. And that's the end of it. The snoring stopped.
So basically, there was no one in your room, and you could hear.
There's no one in my room.
You could hear.
I could hear the snoring. There's no one in my room. I could hear the snoring, and I was like,
"Oh God!"
It worked.
Okay, now let's go to an interesting part, which I like when I ask the author to give a gist about the book for people who have not read your book. So let's start with the first book, which we were anyways talking about, which was 7 Hours at Bhata Road. Give a gist about the book, so that what we can do is I can put this as a reel as well, or maybe I can put it as a YouTube short as well. So give a gist about the book, so people who have not read your book, they will definitely get that interest to read your books.
For sure. Serious face. I can do it. So the people of Bhata village, they have this ritual that they do. In that ritual, they can commit any sin in their lifetime that they want to. And after praising this deity, and after doing this ritual, they will averse going to hell. They will not go to hell. After many years of following this ritual, hell comes to know that people from Bhata village have cheated death, have cheated hell. And hell is now angry. Hell wants to take revenge. So hell decides, if people do not believe in hell, if people don't come to hell, hell will be brought to them. And that's when a prophecy comes alive that in Bhata, the 28th level of hell will take birth. And when it takes birth, all men will die, all women will go blind, and all children will drown. And nobody will survive except one person, who is the slave of the ruler of hell. And that slave and the ruler of hell will spread the hell from Bhata out into the world and will punish humanity.
Oh my God.
That's the basic concept.
While listening only, I'm getting scared. Imagine if I read the book, how scared I'm going to get. So people, whoever is listening, don't forget, if you want to get shit scared, then you need to read this book. Okay, let's go to the next book, which is Has Death Stared Back? This is your next book. So if you can give us a gist about this book as well.
As Death Stared Back is a twisted tale, but it's also a very regular tale. I don't want to call it a horror story. I would like to call it a love story. And this is a love story between a husband and wife, and also a story of a very strong and loving bond between a mother and son. It is a survival story at the end, and it is about this. The main character is called Sanjana. After her husband's death, Sanjana wakes up to a chilling nightmare of her husband, dead husband, trying to kill their son. She rushes to the son's room and finds out that both the son and the mom are having the exact same nightmares. And it has been a while since the father has died that they both have the exact same nightmares. They both take therapy, but 10 years later, there's a knock on their door. And this man, who looks like her husband, Puneet, is there on the door. Exactly the same in flesh. He looks like him. Everyone sees him. So he's not a ghost. You can feel him, you can touch him. He's behaving normally, he's acting normally. He knows whatever Puneet knew, but only Sanjana and her son know that he is not the same Puneet. Something has changed. He is an imposter, he is a liar, and the only other living thing in the house that knows that he is not the same Puneet is their cat. And this new imposter is trying to kill the son for some reason. He's after the life of their son Manu, who's 15 years old. And it's now the story of Sanjana trying to prove that her husband is an imposter while saving her son before people start to question her sanity.
Oh, wow. And to know what actually happens, you need to read the book. So people who are listening, please buy this book as well. Anyways, I'll leave all the links of the books in the description. So do check it out. And this was quite interesting, the storyline. I hope this movie, this book is also going to be adapted into a movie very soon. Yes, you did tell me, but I'm waiting,
I don't know about the timeline for this one. I'm not even allowed to share it yet. I'm not allowed to share who's the producer and all these things. Big names in the industry. Some big people want to do it. Let's see where it goes. I don't know yet.
Hope so. Soon we will, have another conversation. We'll have another episode where we can talk about the books and about the movies when it is released.
When I was writing Sanjana, I was thinking of Vidya Balan and writing Sanjana, but I don't even know if Vidya Balan would ever read this book.
Just send her a book, no? You might be knowing her address, so just deliver one book to her.
Yeah, and then she'll like wipe off the floor with that book. Arey, aaj paper nahi mil raha, chalo is book se. Use it like a duster.
No. Definitely. Just waiting for your first, movie or the first book to release, and then obviously you'll become famous where you will not have time to have an episode with me. So I thought it's better to speak to you now only before you get famous. You never know. Yes. Now the last book, which is When the Devil Whispers. If you can share something about that as well.
So When the Devil Whispers is my first serious book after Boo in the Well of Dangers. So much time spent between them. So first like adult serious book, and it was written after 4 years of hardcore research. And this book is based on a true story. It is based on India is a very tolerant country. It does not give capital punishment. Even if you have done something very, very bad, India doesn't believe in giving capital punishment. It believes in restorative justice. And this was an exception. for the first time after independence, India sentenced two women to death by hanging, and all courts of the law sentenced them to death. And the book is based on this story of why did the women kill about 30 to 40 children from the age of 6 months to 12 years old, and how did they do it. And the book is based through the eyes of one sole character, but multiple points of views, of course, but we follow the journey of one character in the book, which is
Nice.
Shalini. Shalini is like a 25-ish girl who finds herself trapped in the basement of these serial killers, and she does not fit the profile of any of the victims, any other victims. They kill children from the age of 6 months to 12 years. She's 25. Why have they kidnapped her? So it's all about that. It's all about would she survive, not survive, and why have they kidnapped her? That's that.
Wow. All your books are so interesting that no doubt, it's getting adapted into movies.
Thank you.
Really, really nice, really nice. And for sure, I feel that you should start your own podcast, and, other than the things what you have decided, you can even talk about your books, and definitely there will be a lot of people who would be ready to, read your books as well as listen to you. Well, I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Stay tuned for our next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get notified. Ciao.